Now, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor on Tuesday said that he was left with an egg on his face in opposing India's stance when the Russia-Ukraine war broke out in 2022. He said that due to the policy that was adopted, India is now in a position where it can make a difference to lasting peace. These are the latest inputs that we are tracking from the ground. Now, joining us on the broadcast for a better perspective into the entire situation is Pallavi Ghosh. A very good morning, Pallavi. Pallavi, what more details are we gathering on this front?
See, it's not the first time that Shashi Tharoor has seemingly supported the government as far as the foreign policy goes. He's a former diplomat himself, and he's been a former external affairs minister as well, so he's quite well versed as far as foreign policy are concerned. So just to put it into context, he was speaking at the Raisina dialogues where he was talking about India's foreign policy in a context, and there he said that Russia-Ukraine policy of the Indian government has been complimentary, and he has egg on his face because he was one of the first ones who had spoken out against him in Parliament. Remember, there was a lot of criticism of India's stand where it tried to maintain an equidistance between Russia and Ukraine, where while we have supported Ukraine's concerns, we have also tried to go along with our old friend Russia as well. The Congress party, I remember, Kuhina, had very, very strongly criticized his stand of the government. Shashi Tharoor at that point of time was in sync with the Congress's stand, but yesterday he clearly did a U-turn on it, saying it's an egg on the face moment. And this is not the first time, as I mentioned. I remember when the Prime Minister went to America recently after Donald Trump became America, while the rest of the Congress party bashed the trip, he was praising it. He said, it's a good trip. It is something which the Prime Minister is very good. On an earlier occasion, he said that the Prime Minister has gone abroad so many times, and every time he leaves a stamp, a positive vibe. Again, the Congress has been very critical of the Prime Minister's many foreign trips. I remember when I had interviewed him recently over the handcuffed illegal immigrants issue, while the rest of the Congress party attacked the government, he said that this is a norm as far as America goes, and this is according to the rules, and there's nothing wrong with that. These instances are likely to throw up further attack or discontent against him within the party, but more than that, I think it's given the BJP now an ammunition to hit out at the Congress, riding high on Shashi Tharoor's comment from yesterday's Raisina dialogue.
Right, Pallavi, India can contribute to a lasting peace now. These are statements that Shashi Tharoor has given. But how do you think Shashi Tharoor's comments will influence the public perception of India's foreign policy moving forward?
Recently, for example, the Polish Prime Minister had also spoken to us, and when he had said that the Prime Minister had actually stopped the use of nuclear weapon by Vladimir Putin, the Russian president. These are moments which are used by the BJP and the government to make the point that India is no longer a fringe player as far as international diplomacy is concerned. We have actually shown to the world that we can also be equidistant from both Russia and Ukraine and maintain good equations with both. For example, at a time when everyone was criticizing India for taking oil from Russia, bang in the middle of the Russian-Ukraine war, we had actually convinced many people that this is something which was very important for us because it showed the duplicity of many European countries who very secretly were purchasing oil from Russia, whereas we were keeping the interest of the Indians paramount and getting very cheap oil for ourselves. That is what has been the hallmark of Indian diplomacy, and Shashi Tharoor, who comes in from there, also understands that party politics, a party stand is one thing, but you have to speak with one voice whenever the Prime Minister travels abroad. It's always been a kind of a Lakshman Rekha. Whenever the Prime Minister travels abroad, he's not just representing a political party or the government, he actually represents the entire country. But that adds to a discomfort of the Congress. But the BJP today is, of course, citing this example of Shashi Tharoor to make the larger point that if someone from within is understanding the value of India's diplomacy, then why should the rest of the Congress party not?